Hey, everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Midwest Mythos. And guys, got a fun, nice little chill one. Sorry about not uploading last week. A little bit going into that. I was on vacation. My basement decided to flood. Been dealing with all that kind of stuff. And I had some interviews lined up, had to reschedule some, did one. And then while doing it, just realized, it's probably best that I didn't put it out. Not that there was anything wrong with it, but it was just somebody pouring their heart out, and the time right now is just not right to put it out there. We talked, and maybe sometime out in the future we'll upload it or record again something, but yeah, so sorry about that, guys. And then as far as why this is coming out on a Thursday instead of a Tuesday this week, well, same thing. Basement decided to flood again. So now I'm sitting here, dry feet, with drum roll. I got my boy Cowpoke Kyle back on here for the
What's up, buddy?
third or fourth time, and man, we got some fun stuff ready for y'all tonight. Uh, he sent me some link last night when we were talking, and I'm just like, this is funny as can be. We'll definitely talk about that one, but we're like, oh, what else can we do? So we've been sitting here for the last hour, and tonight we are going to bring to you some of the craziest, wildest missing people stories from across America in the last couple decades. Some have been mentioned on the show before, some I just learned about 15 minutes ago. And there's even a couple funny ones in there. But with that being said, guys, let's get Kyle up in here. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm dry. I'm ready to have some fun. I mean, how's it feel to be one of the most? I think it's a tie between you and my boy Kevin for most appearances on the show, man. How's it feel?
I feel like a rock star.
Hell yeah, brother.
I feel like I need to go on tour next.
One day,
Give me
when
the reason to buy a tour bus.
one day, Midwest Mythos, or maybe one day I'll change the name of the show. Who knows? We'll blow up, and yeah, you'll get the tour bus, and we'll just go hunting cryptids across the country.
It sounds like a pretty badass life. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly. It's already been determined if that happens, you're part of the team. So, but in order for something like that to happen, and you would agree with me on this one, Kyle. People, I'm not begging for it, but I'm begging for it.
He's getting desperate.
Can we get some likes, shares, comments, subscribes on all platforms? Share the show. I know it's not the best show out there. I can name 20 different shows that are better than this one. But for some reason, you keep on coming back every week and listening. So you know what? Maybe you can find somebody else that's scraping the bottom of the barrel for their podcast every week to share this show with. So come on. Show some love, drop a comment, show some hate. I don't care. 5-star, 1-star, I don't care. Because guess what? Any publicity is good publicity. And with that being said, man, let's just get into it. So you hit me with this one. I've heard about it in the back of my mind, and I remember it when it came out, but it got put in the memory bank, and then you reopened it about 15 minutes ago. This is one of those wild stories that, actually, believe it or not, it's more common than it probably should be. Yeah, but if you just want to get into this one.
Yeah, we're talking the one that we were just talking about.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr. Riker Webb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah. So this is a kid that he's 3 years old. Yeah, he's 3 years old. He wandered 2.5 miles from his home in Montana through a vast forest. Was missing for 2 days. they find this kid. He's curled up in, I guess, a lawnmower bag.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where they finally find him. And when they're asking him, what happened and everything, he's saying that he got saved by bears. Now, I don't know any bear that's friendly towards humans, but yeah. Plus, looking at this kid, I mean, he goes from being really, I want to say normal looking, but to like he witnessed something that is beyond comprehension.
Right. I'll pull up one of the pictures here of it of him. And yeah, dude, so like you said, he was gone for 3 days. 2 days, sorry. Almost 3 miles away. They found him in the shed and he said bears had done him. I don't in the middle of thunderstorms, it's low 40s outside. I don't think my big self is making it almost 3 miles, not
Yeah.
knowing where I'm going. And this poor kid in just 2 days. I beforehand, because we talked a little bit about these beforehand, I was thinking some like crazy conspiracy. Oh no, they replaced the kid because at least from these pictures, they don't look anything like it. But you pointed out that this looks like shell shock. So I did go and find some images of World War One shell shock, and I mean,
It's almost a one for one comparison. Just the expression.
yeah, I gotta guys more incentive for you guys to go to the
That one right
YouTube.
there in the center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For all y'all.
Or that first one.
Yeah, dude, it's just wow. I mean, that kid definitely saw something.
Saw something. You definitely experienced something. And this, I'm going to reference the Missing 411, the Hunted. Not the Hunted. The first documentary David Paulides did. He had Les Stroud try to recreate one of another child's disappearance, where she walked, I think it was 3 miles up a mountain, middle of the night, sub-zero temperatures. And Les Stroud was like, dude, there's no way. I'm struggling doing this, and I'm in some of the best shape I've ever been in. And it's more or less better conditions than what that night was. This is a toddler doing this. There's no way in the time frame allowed.
Yeah. It's it almost makes me wonder what were those bears. I mean, we hear stories of especially actually before I say that, I'm gonna look up on the map what's out in this area. But big Sasquatch is all over the place. Dog man, and some people are thinking, oh, dog man wouldn't help a kid and stuff like that. But there's been stories in the Appalachian Mountains where like little girls and little boys have befriended dogmen and stuff like that, which I don't know why that is. I mean, maybe everything just operates underneath the universal law of children are precious. Don't harm them, and there's some monsters out there that are even nicer than the monsters that are humans. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Sad.
It really is. But I mean, this place, I'm looking at it on a map. Dude, it's in the middle of a national forest. Boom, there's a big red flag right there, right? It's in the middle of a national forest.
Is there any boulder fields, mountains, rivers
Oh
with
yeah,
bodies of water?
it's right on a river. In a mountain range.
So I mean, if we're gonna follow David Paulides' cluster map of the weird stuff that happens in his geographical uh locations, that's already two right there. Three.
Yeah, I would imagine there's from looking at the topography maps, man. There's
I
definitely
wonder.
cave systems. I guarantee they're out here.
I wonder what the missing persons report of that town looks like.
Let me pull it up.
Or there's any more people that have gone missing that they're adults. They're not that big of a probably. It's a big thing if an adult goes missing, but
Yeah,
it's not. It's not at the point where a child is. Child goes missing. FBI is boom already there.
dog goes missing. No,
You
a
get
week.
local law enforcement after 3 or 4 days of no showing.
I mean, everything. I guess it's pretty saturated, as because there's this giant one that comes out of there being the Riker web. So everything's coming to that. But I'm on their missing people's thing, and I mean there's a good amount, but most of them are middle-aged senior men. So that's yeah, so it's there's no oh, sorry. I was reading this wrong. All right, yeah. Bunch of I don't know. A lot of these people being judgmental look like they might be on the run kind of deal. Some of them look like they were just out there fishing or something like that, and they just got lost. So there's not a ton, at least from my 5 minutes of research looking into it. But I'll look at something else real quick.
On a cluster map.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
I ain't gonna share the images though, because unfortunately Mr. Polides does not like his stuff being shared without his permission, which understandable. So yeah, but there's big old clusters in the area, cave systems. It all lines up with the cave system, so it makes sense. And if we're going to this is a fun one I've been doing a lot lately. Actually, this is the first time I've done it on my show, but the last couple shows I've been on, I've been pulling this up. And that's the Bigfoot mapping project, and seeing how this stuff kind of overlays with each other. Okay. Just looking at, all right, how much Bigfoot activity is out in this area? What goes with this?
All this kind of trip to Montana.
Yeah. And see, there's a bunch of stuff in this section.
So my thing is,
go ahead.
What makes certain people special that they get to come back? Some people don't.
Honestly, I don't know. Besides the grace of the Lord,
it really does seem like that it is at random. These things take you or they don't.
We can't ask the people that got taken, hey, why'd you get taken?
Right.
So, dude, I don't know, man. I've heard some people talk about, it's their bloodlines and stuff like that.
I've heard people say that it's based on what they wear.
Really?
Like, there's a trend that if you're wearing earthen tones, so like coyote, green, camouflage, stuff like that, people aren't messed with, which is weird.
Huh.
Yeah, like I'm trying to remember if it's from David Paulides. It said it. But when you go, if you were to go out on the trails or the state parks or the forest or whatever, to wear bright high vis colors, which makes sense even from a normal hiking standpoint. Like, yeah, you want to see something that if you do get hurt, get lost, you can easily be spotted and identified
Right.
during a search and rescue operation. But he said that there's definitely a on the side of people wearing what's it called? Did I say people that were wearing earthen tones
Yeah.
don't get bothered?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. You just you got it all messed up.
You're all
It's
good.
it's the other way around.
Earth and tones you get bothered with, high vis and
Yes.
stuff you don't. All right, because
Yes.
I was trying to put the two and two together just from like my own experience, because when I go out I'm always wearing like the color green your sweatshirt
hmm
is, or
Olive, Ranger Green,
yeah, or camo. I'll
Coyote.
I'll wear my charcoal pants or some like dark jeans or something. Like
hmm
I'm trying to blend in as much as possible without actually like blending in, without putting
Yeah,
any effort in.
that's how it is when I go out because I want to be able to be somewhat hidden.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna run into a crackhead.
That or something that's trying to hunt me.
Well, at that point, they're gonna get you no matter what.
I'm
But
built different.
you are. You know what? I forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the cowpoke, the cowpoke Kyle himself. Oh man. But I'm gonna
But
pull. I'm gonna pull this while you go ahead. I'm gonna pull this Bigfoot map up real quick.
okay, I'm just trying. I'm still lost on how this kid traveled almost 3 miles.
Well, you can see on this map. Let me get back to. It was in this general area, but it don't matter. It's in this area over here. You see how mountainous and
Mm-hmm.
all this kind of stuff is. I mean, dude,
Then
we
you go over to the West Coast, and it's
just gets more and more. And all these highlights. I mean, these are all Bigfoot sightings. The darker it gets, I mean, the brighter it is, the more it is sightings
the
there
heat
are.
map.
Yeah.
What's there in Kansas?
A bunch around. About
What
where
is
I
that?
took. That is, this area's got quite a few. Cinnabar Creek. Oh, I forgot this is the wildlife and stuff on it too. But near Independence, Oak
That's
Grove,
that's actually really close. Me.
footprints, all this kind of cool stuff. Uh, yeah, man, it's just that kid. I don't know how he did it. Like you said, with Mr. Paulides, with Les Stroud, Les was struggling, and I mean, it was thunderstorming. So,
Yeah.
how hard it is to climb one or the side of a mountain. How it was nice when I went to Appalachian. I know the Rockies and the Smokies are real different, but even when I was in Appalachian, man, it was kind of, you had to put some calories in to get in getting up the side of a ridge. And now
Also, with
I'm a grown ass man.
it being thunderstorm, rain, low 40s. I mean, any bit of wind, you're running hypothermic.
Shoot,
Like you're going to the hypothermia territory just from exposure,
this kid's probably what, 35 pounds, 40 pounds.
if that.
Yeah. See, it's wild, man. And that's
Any kid that's gone missing under these circumstances always reports of seeing something. It's always something that's just out of place. Uh, in the 60s, there was a case where a kid said that he saw a hairy man, and they took him to his house where the hairy man lived, and it took care of him. And then it said to him or told them somehow that it's time for them to go back home. And they said they just walked out, and boom, they were there, and they got found by the search parties in a place they researched.
Dang. Wow. It's nice when they are found.
Yes.
Now,
Unlike this is probably the happiest one that we have lined up.
Besides the last one, yeah. But that one's debatable. It might be sad to some people. But the next one is this Dior Koontz Jr.
Dior Koontz Jr.
Yes. I don't know if you want to read this one or you want me to read this one.
If you want to read this one.
All right. So this took place in 2016. All right. So Koontz and his family, they all decided to go on a fishing trip out and camping trip up in Idaho. Well, so family's out doing stuff, and Koontz wants Dior. Sorry, y'all. This kid, this Deoorr Dior, wanted to keep on fishing, so his grandpa kept with him, and his parents decided to go for about 10-15 minutes. Just go do whatever they wanted to do. Parents do, probably set up camp, all that kind of stuff. So they left him with his great-grandfather, sorry. They're fishing, and they return in 15 minutes, and Dior was gone. Just disappeared. Investigators eventually found his jacket that he was allegedly wearing inside his parents' apartment after they were evicted. But they private investigators and stuff like this have kind of led it to possibly being a covered up homicide, accidental homicide. But who knows? This area that they were in could, if there is somewhere they can camp and fish, they can have stuff going on. Who knows? Or maybe this is just one of those weird cases of a messed up family. But I mean, as a little kid, man, 4-year-old.
The search and rescuers for this one, they started the search and rescue efforts, swam the rivers, swam the creeks, and just like a lot of these other cases, they can't find them. They can't find nothing of them. And if I'm not mistaken, the search and rescue parties encountered inclement weather that halted search and rescue efforts.
Huh.
I don't even know what to make of it anymore.
It's so open ended after 10 years still. Maybe he fell in.
What day was? I'm doing some side research while we were talking about that. What day was
July 10th,
okay.
2015. So this thing's been going on for 10 years. There's been absolutely no traces of them. The thing is too, there's really, at least on this, there's really not that much. And I just realized I left the Bigfoot map up, so they got a good look at that. But I couldn't find too much on this one.
I've so in other times looking into this case, this has been one of my it's been one of my favorite cases. Looking to, like, I've even stalked the Facebook of parents and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and both of them still to this day are trying to find little Dior. Yeah, there's another case that's actually kind of close to what's it called? Close to these. It's a missing persons case. Is from back in my hometown.
Oh,
I just thought about it. So this is the Cheryl Rucci case out of Lockport, New York, which is a city. And this woman was set to testify against her husband for, I'm trying to think of the way to word this. She was going to testify against him in court for a crime that was committed, and she was the key witness in the whole thing. Now this doesn't align with a lot of the other stuff, but it's so the court date is set. I think it was the day before the court date. She went missing, so she didn't appear for the court, whatever. And I'm paraphrasing right now, but she didn't appear for the court date. They go to her apartment. She's not there. No sign of a struggle. Nothing's missing. It looks like that she just walked out. Mind you, she has like a 6-year-old daughter or so at the time.
dang.
So dogs were able to track her for about a mile and a half till they got to some railroad tracks, and then the dogs lost the scent. They searched the husband's house. They did an extensive investigation on the husband. There is no evidence at points that says it's him. He's the number one suspect, but there's no evidence that says he did it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So, a couple podcasts ago, when I don't know if I talked about this, when I was playing with the Ouija board, this was the woman that we're trying to communicate with.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
coming full circle now.
Yep.
Okay.
This case, though, I mean, it's been, I think it's like 17 years. Have not found her.
Yeah. What, 2000? Oh, dude, it's been almost 21 years.
For the you looked it up, the Cheryl Rucci case?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
August 9th, 2005.
Wow.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay. So yeah, we were trying to. It was a mutual friend's mom. So she went to a psychic to try to get answers,
Mm-hmm.
and the psychic said that something about her mother is drawing her close to water, and so in the planning of all this, got a phone call. Was like, hey, you think a swamp's would be where her mother's body's been dumped? I was like, I mean, that's where I would do it. So yeah, end up getting a Ouija board, go out there, and then that's when that thing told us to jump in the water.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't you, just because it's been a long time, that was one of the earlier episodes. You want to go over, let the people know that story a little bit, because I think them knowing, we've gotten a lot more subscribers since back then, and I think this will help them kind of piece together where you're kind of going with this.
Okay. So this is, I don't remember how long ago this is, but friend has the missing mom. So get a phone call, get told, hey, yeah, she went to a psychic. The psychic said something about water. Is her mother, something draws her to the water about her mother. Words to the effect of that. And he's like, do you think the swamps? So there's a state park, probably 20 minutes from where her dad lives. So, and it's all swamps. And I was like, well, that's where I'd dispose of, if I ever had to.
Yeah.
So go and look for a Ouija board, which was one of the hardest things in the world. Like, it took us to
Really?
Spencer's of all places, and then like purchasing the Ouija board. I have never gotten that many weird looks in my life. I've never been told to be careful that much in my life. But everyone that saw me with a Ouija board, they're like, you don't play with that. Just put it back. So now we're fine. Whatever, cool. So the day comes of the investigation, or whatever the hell you want to call it. So I pull into this little state park, and we're sitting there, walk out on this floating dock. We want to get as close to the site that one could think. And I'm like, why not? Let's put ourselves like in the swamp. So we sit down, and got me being me, asking questions, and it's like, you can I cuss?
Yeah.
I was like, is you a bitch? Move the planchette to yes. I'd just be my, just no rage baiting demons, man.
Is-
So now I get told to be serious. So I was like, okay, cool. So we're sitting there, and is anyone here? And planchette moves over to the yes. Everyone's looking around like, is that you? No, not me. I got told to be serious. Like, okay, cool. Where are you? Dead. Where? Water. What's your name? Cheryl. I was like, okay, that's cool. And so who killed you, or what happened? Killed. So, like, who did it? I said, jump. And I sat there. I said, what? You want us to jump in? Yes. Nah. No, I'm sorry, big dog. I'm
Not
out.
happening in these
I'm
parts,
out.
man.
So, move that planchette to goodbye. We're out of there.
Yeah.
So, go up on the embankment to the pavilion. And, okay, let's play this again. So, I had to dig back down this memory for this one. So, is anyone there? Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. When we're down there at the docks, we asked if this was Cheryl, and then it said no. Or we just said, sorry. I said, you're not really Cheryl, are you? Yes. That's when we said, fuck that. So now we're back up there, and is anyone here? Moves over. Yes. Okay. What's your name? Mike. Okay. Mike sounds cool. It's not anything scary,
Yeah.
so we're
Just
sitting there asking just random questions and asking, if he knew Cheryl or if he's met Cheryl or whatever. Yes. Okay. And then I said, uh, kidnap or something like that. And I was like, who? And I gave out a date. Just so happened to be the same date of a concert that was in town. It's like, ooh, don't like that. So a little weird, like, I don't know what detail. Just a weird thing for to be said in the and
right.
for any of us to make it up and try to say that. So we're asking some other questions, like personal questions, stuff that only like I know.
Hmm.
Like, what's my grandfather's name? And it spells out Tiny. That was my grandfather's nickname. I was like, okay. So starting to get a little more convinced. My dog starts whining. It is our dog annoying? Yes. Tell her to be quiet. Planchette sits there. Dog stops whining, lays down on the ground. She's like, okay. So it's starting to get dark, getting eaten by mosquitoes. And can we talk to you another time? It's time to go, whatever. Yes. So goodbye. We end it. Cool. So we get done. We're walking back to my pickup, and we had to use the bathroom. So I'm sitting there. I had a pee too, so I'm doing my thing. Start walking to the truck. They're all looking down there at the water where it came from earlier. Next thing you know, the car's pulling in. After the whole thing about kidnapping, much of a coincidence. Gotta go. Get in the truck, and it's just, did you fucking see that? Did you, whatever. Well, I didn't see shit. You're streaming, what's that back there? But don't really know what you saw. I just saw a Misty down there. I saw it looked like a woman down at the water, like waving me to come down. Ooh, don't like that. Okay, cool.
No.
So a week or two goes by, get the notion to go back. One time wasn't enough. So not gonna get out of the truck now. So listen, there's anyone here? Yes. Can you make yourself known? My truck goes from sitting there at idle, revs all the way down, like we're almost stalls out. I was like, that's enough for me. Goodbye. Nah, I'm not trying to get stranded around the spookies. Like, just leave me in the leave. Like, I'd much rather deal with a cryptid than a ghost, or at least I
Yeah.
could. I can shoot the cryptid. I can't shoot the ghost.
No, but the the reason I really wanted you to retell that story is because that very last part where your friend saw her standing at the end of the thing waving in. And that just makes me think that's what's happening to these kids, man. Not even just the kids, these adults. They're
They're
seeing
seeing.
something and they're luring them in.
So
It's
that's a. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
well, I was just gonna say that's the whole thing with like the fairies and the fae and stuff like that, man. They want to draw you in and take you to where they're from. And hey, this ain't no Tinkerbell and Peter Pan. No, these things want to like they're gonna eat you. They're gonna kill
Yeah,
you and they're gonna eat you.
I mean, there's people that are. I have a firsthand, not firsthand, secondhand encounter actually. So I have a buddy on TikTok that ranches, does part-time cowboy work out in Arizona, and he's got multiple videos on his TikTok of him riding some trails at night or riding it around at night on his horse, and you could tell his horse is getting spooked, and you can hear something in the video saying, uh, like it sounds like help off in the distance, and he's sitting there, and he's like, nope, not doing that.
Nope.
He's got other ones like come here, come here. And it sounds like it's far enough in the distance. I don't think it is though.
No.
I don't think that whatever it is making that noise is, 200-300 yards away. It's just past the camera light or past your light source. Yeah, I got goosebumps thinking about that.
It's it's so wild, man. And
To a
they
kid, something says, "Come here,"
they're
or
going they're going
yeah,
to 99% of the time, especially if they're by themselves. They
or I've heard stories of people hearing voices that are mimicking someone that they know.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's um actually there was just one oh dude. I've there was just a mimic sighting down the road from my house. Actually. A
Really,
doppelganger mimic. Yeah,
don't like
yeah,
that. Don't like
yeah.
that.
An old man came up to me at church, and you know, it, old dude, and he's just like, "Hey, Riley, like I know you kind of mess with, you look into this all kind of stuff." He's like, "You know what a doppelganger is?" I'm like, "Yeah," and he told me this whole story about how he saw his nephew in the trying to get in the house. He's like, "Nephew, you know where the key is at?" And stuff. He's like, "No, it's not there." And then he just felt like, "No, that's not my nephew." And
Don't like that.
didn't let him in. He said he started praying and went away. And his nephew came back and he was like, "Hey, why'd you try to get in the house?" Just ask him. He's like, "What you mean? I was with my girlfriend." He's like, "Yeah, man, that's how it is." And I was just, but I mean, the stuff happens all
Yeah,
over the place. Uh, going back out to Arizona, there was this girl. Uh, she, we were friends ish. She was my buddy's mom's friend that was my age. So, I hung out and stuff at my buddy's house, but she was a traveling nurse. And, at this point, I hadn't talked to her for a while, but I texted her one day and I was like, hey, how was Arizona? She was like, it was beautiful. I stayed out in this Airbnb for a month and a half. It was so awesome until nighttime. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She's like, I don't really like to talk about it, but I was able to get she's like, I kept on hearing these voices and stuff outside of my Airbnb, stuff crawling on the roof, stuff saying come outside and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna pry you anymore because she wasn't into this kind of stuff. So she didn't have any idea what it was. And if I was to tell her, it's these creatures, and man, she probably would have passed out right there on the spot.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
I don't like the
she,
fact that these things can bother you at your home.
I mean, she was a tough girl. She was a cowgirl. She she drove an F-350. Is her every day? Yeah, she's been riding horses. She was like 3. Shoot, had more guns than me, and she was sitting there terrified. She said she was terrified.
And what are you supposed to do in that situation?
Nothing. Pray. And
Shoot through the door?
yeah, what? Let it in.
Yeah, if you're cold, they're cold.
Oh man. Oh, but it it just makes me wonder. Like, have you been out in the woods or anything, or like night hiking and stuff like that?
Mhm.
You ever had stuff call out to you?
I've never had anything call out to me. I've had the feeling of being watched. I mean, that's a pretty common one, and
Yeah.
I always chalk that one up to there's animals, there's critters out there that I can't see. But I've also had where it's not being called out to, but I can hear something
Yeah.
just beyond my line of sight, and it's like it almost like it follows your steps.
Have, this is a new one to me, and it goes along with this kind of stuff. Uh, my buddy John from the 21 CD podcast, he was the last episode before this one. He just put an episode out on his show, uh, and it was called The Hide Behind.
Heard about it.
Yeah, dude. And I'm
That's
like that goes that's not some like new cryptid, like he
no,
was
that
breaking it,
goes
that goes way back.
back. That goes back to to colonial times.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh shit, dude, this is probably something like I can name a few accounts where this thing I probably seen
So
or something, been in the presence of it.
you need to refresh me. Is that the one that? What happens if you spot it?
Like I'm pretty sure like if it's just you, it attacks, or it doesn't, because if you spot it, I think you're safe. But if you don't spot it, you're not. It's gonna get you. I'm trying to
There's
remember.
been
It's
there's
been a
been
few
many
weeks.
times where I've been out deer hunting or something, and I swear I see something just behind a tree, and I usually just my eyes are playing tricks on me at the distance, at that range, whatever. But I used to get really uncomfortable walking out to my deer stand at nighttime.
Yeah,
I can't explain it. It just is one of those things where it terrified me. And this is way before even having that one Bigfoot or that one encounter. I don't want to call it a Bigfoot encounter. The one encounter with whatever it was on the mountain.
yeah,
I
with
was
the
deer hunt,
with the Colt.
right? I was deer hunting. I had to be 10 or 11 out with my dad. And he had me start pushing through this cornfield trying to kick something out. I was probably about halfway through the cornfield, and I heard something behind me, like run up behind me, and I don't know how to explain it other than pure panic, and I took off running. That terrified me. Not a clue what it was, but I knew it was something big, like charging up behind me.
It,
They say cornfields are low key like the Bermuda Triangle. You can go out in cornfields and just never come back.
yeah, and that's shoot, dude. I used to growing up on my grandparents' blueberry farm. Surrounded by it was cornfields. All the neighbors grew. It would go cornfield, blueberry farm, cornfield, blueberry farm. Each neighbor swapped over what it was. The blueberries always stayed, but the corn would 1 year corn, 1 year soy, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, I just remember always walking next to them and just being terrified. Like I'd have the tractor and I'd be driving the tractor, lugging the sprayer and all that kind of stuff to the next part, or some replacing all the hose for the irrigation, and then just like looking into the cornfield and just like feeling like, oh no, dude, this ain't. I need to get away from this. Slapping her into third gear and getting
slap her
away.
to a road gear and hammer down.
Yeah, 20 miles an hour.
I've had times working in a tractor where you come up along a hedgerow and just get this really bad feeling in my gut. I had a spot where I used to cut hay that was like that. It was the south hedgerow of the field, butted up against a bunch of trees, really deep wood line. And it was always that last pass at the edge of that field. At nighttime, I felt like someone was gonna just come out and grab me and pull me out of there. It seems unreasonable, but also at the same time, not really.
Right. Well, I think that's really why, like, kind of just like fast forward and into the next thing. I really, because I've talked about it a little bit on this show before, and everybody and their brothers heard of it. Like the Dennis Martin case, man, they're just sitting there playing. He goes behind this tree, and the next thing you know, he's gone, and they can't find anything until some ginseng hunters find a shoe weeks later. You know,
This is after having the Green Beret in there.
yeah, this is, a couple 100-person search party. This is, everybody, like, what, like, I don't think he was kidnapped by anything from here. I don't think it was human. If he was taken by anything, I think he's literally just slipped somewhere.
Yeah, I think this is a newer thought that I've kind of dove into. That they always joke around, with the national parks are put there to contain whatever's out there. What if it's not so much there's something out there in the parks? I mean, there's something out there, but what if parks exist because how do I say it? Like, that's where the I don't know, like a gateway,
Yeah,
maybe like
the
a
the portal.
portal.
Yeah, the portals. The
Yeah,
veil's thinner in those areas.
yes,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
that it'll allow like some people just they're walking down the trail and all of a sudden they cross over the other side. They can't come back.
Right. Well, I've been to the area where around the area. This was a few years back. I just went for my buddy's engagement. He wanted to get engaged to his wife in Tennessee, so it was an excuse for us to go on vacation down here there. And we went to the Smoky Mountains National Forest for a day and around the area. And dude, it felt weird there, and I wouldn't experience that feeling until I got back there. What would be last year to do an operation with CW Ops. But I mean, dude, the whole area just like spiritually is heavier, man. There's an ancient evil that lurks there. The veil's thinner. it's wild, man. And it's, like you said, it's all these. I'm not gonna say all the national parks. I think it's most of them because I mob around Indiana Dunes National Park. Like I frequent there, and that
I
was
think
not.
it's most. I think
That's
most have something, but
it.
there's definitely some parks that are more of a hot spot.
Yeah, like Indiana, there ain't nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say there ain't nothing there because there's a Hydron Collider in Chicago that's literally like 15, 20 minutes away. You
There's a
know,
Helljohn
like
Collider.
yeah, like CERN, Oak Ridge, all that kind of stuff. What they
Ooh,
got there, they got one in Chicago too.
what opens the portals?
Yeah, and we got like the Chicago Mothman and stuff like that. That he's come up in Gary quite a few times. So it's like there's these areas, but like I think it's the big ones like Yosemite, Yellowstone, Smoky Mountain, the ones down in Texas, Zion, the Uinta Basin, all these areas, that's like you were saying, like there's more portals, it's thinner, all these kinds of things, and like it lines up with Mr. Polites 411 too, man. These areas where the veil is thinner, man, more people are just gone.
They
You know,
also show or align with the cave networks.
I think that goes hand in hand with them too.
I mean, I have coming up with a handful of conspiracies. Yeah, I can call them that because they're kind of out there, but also it all lines up, and it's yeah. So they say the dog man is a government asset, right?
Yeah, at least one form of them. Yeah, I think is it Class B, Type
Okay,
B.
so
Yeah.
let me put you on something.
All right.
Early pandemic TikTok time. There's a sometimes I'll hit the schizophrenic parts,
Yeah.
and yeah, I thought this was just like a what's it called? I thought it was just a normal schizo post, whatever. There's this lady talking about the deep underground military bases.
Oh yeah.
So I'm listening to her talk about it, and a lot of the stuff she was saying is the same stuff Bill Schneider said at his one conference. I was like, okay, we're starting to the things are starting to mesh. It, they're all connected by a high-speed underground rail system. People have heard what sounds like a train under the surface of middle of like nowhere, Kansas.
Yep.
Okay, so all this stuff, like I'm starting to like got me like that meme with a map and all the strings everywhere. This video had a picture of quote unquote reported entrances for these deep underground military bases that they're always like the entrances are within a cave or at an entrance of a cave. So she had the uh the picture of the map. It imposed over like all the entrances aligned with the cave network map. All the entrances also align with the cluster spots of the national parks. I really am starting to think that the Dogman is a government asset. That there's been so many different TikToks that I've heard people saying, they're going to start releasing them.
Yeah. I mean they are
And
they already are, and they're getting some cases they're getting dropped. Joe Barger dropped one
yeah,
up here in Michigan. Yeah. In the Manistee National Forest. He put one down. He got lucky. And he'll say it. He got lucky. He shot it in the eye. But that's the only way he dropped it. And then the spooks came and took it.
I would love to.
I'm gonna try to get him on the show one of these days.
I would love to meet these people that handle these assets,
Yeah.
and not in a weird sense. Like I want to be able to have a normal conversation.
Yeah, just like kind of see what kind of person they are, kind of deal, or just
Yeah, and also like I'd love like almost for one to become a whistleblower and talk to him.
I,
Like,
I don't think these whistleblowers even get the chance to blow the whistle.
no, if it's I don't know, you haven't really had whistleblowers like Bob Lazar and stuff like that after Bob Lazar.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
what
and
Dave Grush.
they
That's, that's about it.
there's the CIA whistleblower too.
Oh yeah,
That's just came. That I've seen his TikToks. He talks about his time in the CIA and stuff.
yeah.
But
This
no, I'd like to meet the Men in Black. That's
I don't think
yeah,
they're
I'll say it.
I don't think they're human.
I've gone down a few rabbit holes, and people that have encountered them say yeah, that they look robotic.
I my my buddy Oren, his mother had an encounter with him when he was a little kid. That's episode 2 of my show. He talks about that.
A guy I worked with, his parents had an encounter with him after he drove through. He was farming. He was probably about 10, 11 years old, drove through a blue light that was coming down from the sky. All electronics in the tractor turned off, but the tractor was mechanically driven or mechanically powered, so it stayed running. He exited the blue light, headlights, radio, everything came back on. A couple days later, a blacked out Lincoln Town car pulls in their driveway. Some guys in suits get out and go in the house. He was doing something. About an hour or so later, they come out. He asks his parents about it. What are you talking about? And then yeah,
Damn.
bro was kind of weird. Like not weird like in a traditional sense, like new things weird. Like
Right.
he could predict what I was about to say before I even said it.
Oh yeah, maybe he got some enhancements from that lot. Who knows? Maybe he was gone. Maybe he was taken and he wasn't aware.
Yeah,
You know,
I
it goes
mean,
into all this kind of stuff.
like I was telling my story about my encounter, the one I've told on here, and like I was starting to say where it was, like the town's name, and he just rips the town's name out.
Dang.
Oh, like, how'd you know that? Like, I started a little defensive. Like, what's going on? Like, how'd you know that? And he's just like, you'll learn that there's weird things that happen with me, and I'm not normal. I was like, no, you're telling me.
Shoot, you still in contact with this person?
I might have his number still.
Oh, dude, we should try to sit down and have a conversation with this guy.
I ran into him. This is back when I lived in New York. I ran into him randomly. We were separated by about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I ran into him in my town I lived in. I was like, "What the hell are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm everywhere." It's like, evidently.
I guess so, man. Man, that is
So going back to the Dennis Martin case, the search and I got numbers on the search efforts. 14,000 people. It's not 14,000, 1,400 people, including National Guard and Green Berets. Dude, 1,400 people is a lot of people to be combing the forest.
they covered 56 square miles by,
Lord.
by foot and helicopter. Bro, that's bigger than like Vermont or Rhode Island.
Yeah. And so, and there's a tourist reported hearing a sickening scream and seeing a rough looking hairy man who had something red over his shoulder.
Huh.
I'm wondering if that rough looking hairy man's the bears that Riker Webb saw,
Right. You know,
and every other person, or every other child that's not abducted, he goes missing and is found, says
Time to pop back through the portal.
Right?
That's
There was a handful of clips in a Google Drive that I found once. I was going through just old YouTube, and one thing led to another, led me to a obscure YouTube video of a guy, he was a nurse, interviewing this woman who, quote unquote, slipped through a portal on the Appalachian Trail, right outside of Brown Mountain,
oh
North
yeah,
Carolina.
yeah.
And there was videos in there, and she was talking about how she was walking her dogs with a group of friends. She was looking forward, turned to go talk to her friends, and they were gone. And then it was quiet. It was really quiet in the on the trail. And she had no recollection of time and day. Like the timestamp on the videos do not correlate to the right time. And it could just be like, someone didn't set the timestamp. But she had videos from earlier that day, and they had the appropriate timestamp for everything. And it wasn't like a camcorder recording, because it was phone, like her cell phone.
Right.
So, and she claims she was gone for like 3 or 4 days, and she just didn't, she couldn't like comprehend the time, because it started to get dark, and like in Alaska where it's the like 23 hours of daylight, you got dim, and then it just got bright again. She reports seeing different colored orbs following her along the trail. That some of the colors had more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? More of a menacing, I guess. Like
Yeah, a malicious kind of feel to him.
yes, like the blue ones terrified her. Her dog got really reactive towards them.
Ooh,
Uh,
dang! Oh, I just got
yeah,
because I know the blue orbs. I have seen them, and the blue orbs of the Appalachia. I've seen them, and they're terrifying.
there wasn't any videos of the orbs, but there was videos of it being like really dim at like dusk. Her dog being really reactive towards something off in the distance. Like you couldn't see it in the video, but there was, by the way the dog was reacting, something out there behind the trees. And like big takeaway from it, that it was completely silent. You know as well as I do that the woods never silent. Not
Not,
normally.
yeah, not unless something's around.
And then so she claims that she's wandered around for however long it was. She made us she was just walking down the trail and popped out at like a residential neighborhood right off the trail. Like in the video, she's walking, all of a sudden there's sound, like ambient noise, and then there's houses.
What?
Dude, there was a, I don't know. I'm watching. I was like, either this is a really elaborate hoax, or this is something.
That is that is
I can't find the video anymore. The videos. I have
yeah.
searched through, and like I've searched the archives of YouTube, and I
So
can't find them.
so they thought she was gone for 4 days,
Yeah,
but to her it is just wow.
it was one continuous like daylight, like
You get dim right back up.
mhm.
That's wow, man.
Which, I mean, that kind of portals does lead us into this next one of the Thomas Messick, or Tom Messick,
Yeah,
because I got that pulled up.
yeah.
Can you read it?
Oh yeah, sorry,
I
sorry.
don't sorry. I don't have it pulled up.
Oh yeah, you're good. Sorry about that, brother. Uh,
You're good.
so this is Tom Messick and his senior and his family. He was hunting with a group of 6 friends and family members near Lily Pond, lake in Lake George Wild Forest, located near Horicon, New York. Tom was an experienced woodsman and military veteran. He was assigned as a stationary watcher position along the hillside, about 30, 40 yards from a road, while the rest of the group moved through the woods to push game towards him. Tom vanished somewhere between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Uh, Despite massive search involvement, 300 people, helicopters, divers, scent dogs, they never found this dude. And there's some weird stuff. Yeah, you mentioned there was some weird stuff that they found and heard.
So the search party for Tom Messick included FBI analysts observing the search. David Paulides mentions that that's not normal protocol, and the sheriff was even like, "Yeah, that's not normal. They've never shown up on a case this." So the friend of Tom, when questioned if he heard anything or saw anything or what happened, he said that he didn't see anything. He really didn't hear anything other than something that he described as just real quick, just a noise, which makes me think that these portals or whatever they are open. When they open, make a noise or they close, because that's not the first time it's ever been. Like, people have claimed to go into these portals, claim they hear a metallic sound, or when people go missing, they hear a metallic sound.
Yeah.
I wonder if that could be crossing over, or the bridge opens, or the gate opens.
Or they're opening up the gate to the dumbs and letting the
Yeah.
creatures out.
I mean,
It's
Tom Messick, there is no sign of him. The people in the search party said that when they got done searching that forest, that it looked like a spider web, because they'd take string and attach it to a starting point and a stopping point to indicate it's been searched.
yeah.
Divers dove every body of water, searched it. Nothing.
It's what makes this really weird. It was a group of 6 hunters, experienced
Mm-hmm.
hunters.
He was a Green Beret for
Uh,
Delta Force. He was Special Forces in Vietnam.
yeah,
He
they're
was the hunting course instructor, and he's an experienced outdoorsman. If there's anyone that's going to survive, that should survive being out in the wilderness alone or
but
whatever,
here's the
this would be
thing.
the guy.
He wasn't even out in the wilderness. He was 30, 40 yards from a road. Is
Yes.
posted up as a watcher. So homeboy's not even in the woods. 30, 40 yards in the woods, really not that far, especially up north.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking like down in the mountains, all right, 30, 40 yards off the road, that's quite a bit. But up north, I don't know how it is in New York, really.
So that area
But
is the Adirondack Mountains. It's the biggest state park in New York. That area, if it's like the rest of North Country, it's going to be pretty thick woods. So 30, 40 yards is dense.
all right, because like Midwest woods, like it's
You
dense,
know,
but
30.
you can see it. Like even North Midwest, UP, it's but you can still see the
Hmm.
road from
So you
30,
can
40
watch your
yards.
Midwest, you can watch your dog run away for 3 days straight.
Yeah, especially once you get to Dakotas and all that stuff. Yeah,
But when this area was searched, they didn't find his rifle, any spent shell casings, not even a candy bar wrapper. And his wife even said not that he would drop it, but still the principle that there was no sign of this guy even existing in the
right.
woods. So the search went on. I don't remember how long the search went on for. It was about a week, I think. I mean, technically, the search has never stopped. His kids are still out there looking for him. But the search for Tom Messick was ended right before Thanksgiving,
Oh,
and because resources were reassigned to another disappearance in the area where the guy he went vanished without a trace too. I don't know the guy's name,
huh.
but Politis covers it in the Missing 411, The Hunted.
Dang. That's wow. It really is wild. I say
There's
I say that way too much. It's wild. I gotta come with it's crazy. It's I don't
so
know.
there's also in there was in New York another toddler went missing. Parents, she calls the local police department, whatever, said, "Hey, I can't find my child." Child does the police department does a preliminary search of the residence and the surrounding area, confirms there is no child here. The kid is missing. I think she's 3 or 4. So Amber Alert gets put out. Multiple different police agencies are all just convening on this residence. So they start expanding. They have their briefing. The child was last seeing a pink jacket, whatever. So they're fanning out. This state cop gets an idea or a random thought. I should climb this mountain, this hill. And it took him a good bit to climb the hill. And the trooper even says in his report that I think it took him like a half hour or so to climb the hill and the conditions and everything. He said, "I'm in very good physical shape, and this was a challenge for me." They find the girl in a stream face down on top of the hill. She survived. She
Oh,
was hypothermic, but they find her. He saw something in the distance that was like that was pink. He's like, I remember them saying something about pink jackets, so he runs to that, and it's the girl. It's the child. She's alive. She's cold, whatever. Has no recollection of getting up there. That's when he's like, I don't know how she would have made it up there. I struggled to climb this hill, but she was able to do it in less time than it took me to do. I mean, to do it more or less. A
what?
4-year-old can't climb a hill that's taken a grown man in good physical shape in 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude. And she was face down in the water.
Like,
It almost sounds like something grabbed her, knocked her out, heard the dude coming and dropped her.
or dumped her.
Yeah,
They grabbed, they took her, did whatever they do. They take you and drop you off.
dang.
I've met a lot of weird people in my times. I've met people that claim to be abducted by aliens,
Yeah,
and I was like, how do you know it happens? Like, I don't know it happens, but I just I remember being somewhere at one time and I wake up in a different area.
yep.
Like that's horrifying.
I I don't think it's ever happened to me.
I've
That's
had one really questionable thought like night. It was 2 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, it was whenever the drone activity was happening across the United States.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
So I was getting ready. My old lady went to bed. I have a memory of going into the bedroom, looking out the window, seeing a green light pulsing, just whoa, whoa, and I got really dizzy and it fell down, and I woke up in bed. So I am not convinced that it wasn't a dream. I'm not convinced that it didn't happen. I asked my old lady, I was like, I was in bed last night, right? And she's like, I think so. I don't know.
damn. That's
I'm not saying that I got taken, but like
Some see,
I don't know what to think on
I
that.
I got one like that too. Like I don't even know if it may have just been a dream too. Like that's why I've never really talked about it. I don't
I
think
feel crazy for saying it, but
I
like,
like I don't think I've ever told that. I'm about to tell you, but I don't think I've ever told anybody like this. Like I've had a lot of stuff. Like when I was living with my grandparents, I had a lot of stuff happen out on the farm. But from demons and all that kind of stuff, uh, to a bunch of sleep paralysis. But one morning, this is like about 3, 4 in the morning. I I was either having a dream within a dream, or I had a dream and I woke up and like I was right. So it's all how the farm was is where the room is. There's a porch, the front porch that's got overhang on it. Then it's a little open field like the front yard, but then it's fields all around, blueberries and corn all around. And I just remember like shooting out of bed, and there's just bright blue fucking light, uh, just lighting everything up. And I just looked at it and I just passed out. So I don't remember if it was like a dream within a dream, or
if
you
it
know,
actually happened or if you just,
yeah, because I remember waking up and I was like, I the first thing I thought was, oh, this is like fourth kind. Like they're about to start, they're about to start busting through the windows with a white owl.
oh,
But that I don't know. So I ain't never. You're the first person I think I've ever told that. But that was just like
I,
one of those. Who knows?
I told Tommy that story,
Yeah,
and I don't. Every time I say it, I I don't know if it was real
it,
life or not.
it's such a weird feeling. I like to say I do like to say though that I'm glad I'm not the only one that has like that kind of. Yours is weirder though because you like. I guess I did fall right back asleep too, but you passed out. Passed out. That
Like,
you weren't in bed already. That's the weird
no,
thing. That's
that's the thing. Like, I remember standing there at the window vividly, staring at this thing. It's just womp, 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 and got dizzy. Tried to go late, tried to make it to bed, and just I think I came down the ground. I don't remember actually hitting the ground either.
that's weird. That,
Woke up
what
in bed though.
what the hell? Oh, well,
And
brother,
it's not like I was drinking or anything either that night.
yeah, that's. I mean, if you're drinking, that's a tip. Yeah, I mean, that could
Yeah,
be
but like,
expected, but stone cold sober,
yeah,
that's weird. Well, I think we got time for this last funny one. Then I need to get hit in the hay.
you
the
seem
one,
tired, Bubba.
yeah, I worked 12 the last two days. No, I only worked 11 today. Uh, and I got to work 12 tomorrow. But you sent this one to me last night, and this was so funny. The Gerald the Dolphin story. Or yeah, you care to read this one?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick.
Yeah, or just go off the dome what you have. It don't.
So, a guy in Florida went missing for like 3 or 4 days, allegedly. Stumbled into, I think he got arrested or he stumbled it into the hospital. There it is. He's claiming that he got kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. After they checked him out at the hospital, they found out that he does not have any head injuries, perfectly normal. But he does show that he has exposure to salt water and like salt water in his lungs, sometimes consistent of being like lost at sea or under the water, like free diving.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins kidnapped him. I can't prove it's not wrong. I can't prove it's fake.
So like everything here is saying it's fake, and I I would like to say it is fake, other than this one thing, and that is people don't realize how smart dolphins are. They are they got the biggest brains. They are that I'll save that for a different thing. That's not a
The
family
Navy,
friend.
the Navy trains dolphins.
Yeah, dude. They got dolphins trained to kill cartel members, dude. Like there is dolphins that do drug bust, and they've been doing this for the last 10 years. I wrote a whole paper on it my junior year about the technology that they were using to teach these dolphins how to take out cartel ships, just like the little runner boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Capsize them.
Yeah. You capsize them, and then like blades on dolphins, like take out, just finish off the people. And here's the thing, man. Atlantis, some people hypothesize that it is off the coast of Florida by Cuba, all that kind of stuff, man. Maybe these dolphins took them to Atlantis and they're trying to rebuild it. And I just remembered one of the things that I thought about last night after you sent this to me was, so are you familiar with the story of Jesus casting legion into the pigs?
I'm not.
All right, so Jesus comes upon a demon-possessed man. The demon says, "We are legion because we are many."
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to cast him out, and he's like, "Oh," the legion's like, "Oh, you come to me before the anointed time. Do you plan to do this, this, and that to me and stuff? Why don't you send us into these pigs so that we so that we may, just let us go." So Jesus casts them into the pigs, and the pigs all run off the cliff and kill themselves, essentially. But that goes into the theory of, all right, well, can these demonic entities, what animals and stuff can they inhabit? I was just talking to somebody about this I think it was John. Me and him were talking about it. But what if there's demon-possessed dolphins, man, that are trying to bring back Atlantis and these lost technology? This is just some dumb pondering thing I'm just thinking. It just popped up in my head while we're nobody take this as me saying this is fact, dude. This is just some dumb thought that came into my mind while reading this.
Thinking about it, then I'm not a demonologist or anything like that, but like, I imagine they could occupy an animal. These are ancient beings, spirits, entities,
Yeah.
whatever. They have to have figured that one out. I mean, yeah. I got nothing. I've never thought of that way.
Yeah, that was at like 12:30 at night last night. I thought of that one. And like I said, I'm not saying that's fact or anything like that. I ain't even saying it's possible. I'm just spitballing some random thing. I thought, this would be pretty funny to lighten the mood a little bit before we get out of here. Cause this was, I mean, this episode could have been way darker, but it was informative.
Gotta find an episode we can talk about OP Rock.
Oh yeah.
Do you know about OP Rock?
No, but we can we'll talk about it after I end up here. All right. Everybody, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Midwest Mythos. Guys, like I said, please, at this point, I am going to be desperate. If you just show me a little bit of love with the likes, the comments, the follows, the shares, the subscribes, leave a comment. If you or anybody you know wants to be a guest on the show, reach out to me. You can do that in the link tree down below, or contact me at midwestmythospodcast@outlook.com, or slide into my DMs on Instagram at Midwest Mythos. And be sure to give my boy Kyle some follows on TikTok. Are you still doing your TikTok?
Yep.
All right.
TikTok, Instagram, Twitch. Moved over to Twitch too.
Oh, you're on Twitch now too? I'll have to,
As much as I can be.
all right, I'll have to get your Twitch link from you because I got your TikTok and your Instagram. They'll be down in the bio below. His Twitch link will be on there. And Kyle, you got any words or anything you want to say to anybody before we get out of here?
I got no words of wisdom right now.
All right, that's fine by me. I normally don't do it, but you've been on here so many times, who knows? But all right, guys, we'll catch you next week. God bless. Bye.
Peace.